For months, astronomers kept reassuring us that 3IATLAS would be nothing more than a spectacular flyby, a dramatic yet harmless interstellar passerby drifting past Mars before vanishing into the dark. But the universe rarely delivers anything harmless without a reason. And now, James Webb, our most advanced eye aimed into the void, has sent back data that completely overturns the original narrative. The calculations have changed, the trajectory has shifted, and for the first time, scientists are whispering the one thing nobody wanted to hear. 3IATLAS might actually strike Mars. This is not just the story of a comet. This is about precision maneuvers, clock-like gas bursts, and an object behaving less like a chunk of ice and more like a guided spacecraft. The deeper you study the data, the more obvious it becomes. 3IATLAS is not drifting. It is steering, adjusting, and targeting. And Mars is directly in its path. Whatever this thing is, it is not finished with our solar system. When 3IATLAS was first spotted on July 1st, it looked like any other interstellar wanderer. A fast-moving blur with a glowing coma streaking in at nearly 87 kilometers per second relative to the Sun. At that speed, it would cross the Earth-Moon distance in under 80 minutes. But its velocity was not the biggest shock. Its behavior was. Most comets slow down, fragment, or stabilize as they approach the inner planets. But 3IATLAS began to accelerate subtly, yet consistently. Then its trajectory began tightening. Small course corrections appeared. Its coma doubled in brightness within weeks, and spectral readings revealed ultraviolet spikes and carbon dioxide outgassing far beyond anything recorded from a comet. It was acting less like a natural rock and more like a guided missile. Then, James Webb detected something game-changing, rhythmic pulses firing from the tail. Not random jets from sunlight heating ice, these were deliberate thrusts repeating every 17 minutes. A pattern, a maneuver, a signal. As Webb Gemini South and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory tracked the object, the story grew darker. A near miss became something far more dangerous. The revised approach distance shrank to 1.95 million kilometers from Mars. On a cosmic scale, that is almost nothing. Worse, simulations showed that just 10 kilometers per second of added speed, far less than the measured gas pulses, could shift the object into a direct impact. One nudge, one whisper of thrust, and Mars becomes ground zero. This level of control is unheard of in natural bodies. 3IATLAS appears to be using its own outgassing as microthrusters, adjusting its trajectory like a spacecraft. Even more disturbing, these thrusts align perfectly with Mars's orbital plane. Scientists are not just tracking an object anymore. They are watching it aim. And the impact window keeps narrowing. Between September 19th and September 30th, any single outburst could be the one that pushes it over the edge. It is not only sci-fi fans sounding the alarm. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb and his team have published a paper proposing something bold. 3IATLAS may be an engineered probe. The data supports the idea. Radar signals from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and from Goldstone antennas bounced back with metallic echoes, not the soft, watery signatures typical of comets. Insiders at NASA described the radar reflections as unlike anything they had ever seen. And in long exposure, amateur photos, green needle-like streams, 3 glowing beams were seen converging toward Mars, pulsing in sync with the gas vents. The picture was becoming undeniable. This object was not behaving naturally. Loeb suggested that 3IATLAS might be deliberately targeting Mars to crash, or worse, to deliver something. Probes, signals, spores. Whatever the payload might be, the approach looks intentional. Humanity is watching an operation unfold that we barely understand. If it hits, the outcome is almost beyond comprehension. With a mass near 10 billion tons and a speed of 57 kilometers per second relative to Mars, the impact would release more than 2 million megatons of energy. That is thousands of times more powerful than the largest nuclear detonation in Earth's history. The crater would span 60 kilometers across and 5 kilometers deep. Debris would scatter through Mars's orbit. Some fragments could even reach interplanetary space. And yes, some of those could eventually reach Earth. But the consequences extend beyond debris. Mars hosts dozens of scientific assets, rovers, orbiters, climate experiments, long-term data logs. A strike would not just destroy machines. It would erase decades of research, disrupt communication networks, and potentially trigger biological contamination events we are not prepared to handle. Space agencies worldwide, including ESA, Roscosmos, CNSA, and JAXA, have initiated emergency discussions, not against a fleet, against a single object, acting too much like a vehicle. For years, scientists have suspected that Mars once had life, and perhaps still shelters it underground. Subsurface lakes, dormant microbes, ancient ecosystems preserved in ice. But if 3IATLAS impacts all of that, becomes a biological unknown, the heat would fracture deep Martian layers we have never reached. If the object carries organic molecules or synthetic biology, the merging of Earth-independent evolution with Martian biology could result in planetary-scale genetic contamination. Some biologists call this reverse panspermia, not life moving from Mars to Earth, but life being seeded into Mars deliberately. As 3IATLAS neared its closest distance, James Webb performed one last ultra-deep scan. The results were classified for 48 hours, before only a fraction was released. Leaks told a darker story. Webb detected synthetic polymers, materials resembling plastics and carbon nanotubes, mixed with natural gases. These structures do not form in space. They must be engineered. Webb also found isotopic anomalies in carbon and hydrogen. Unlike any known solar system object, 3IATLAS contained things that should not exist in space, and they were heading straight toward a planet that might still hold life. Space agencies formed emergency task forces, not to stop the object they knew they could not, but to understand what it truly was. Then NASA went silent. Press releases stopped. Telemetry from Perseverance and Tianwen-1 had gaps. Questions were redirected. And in a leaked transmission, one chilling phrase appeared. Impact protocol initiated. Insiders claim encrypted signals were sent from Earth to all functioning Mars equipment. Strange, considering we have no way to deflect 3IATLAS. Unless the purpose of those signals was not to stop Mars from being hit, but to prepare it. If 3IATLAS is intelligent or even semi-autonomous, it could be reacting to energy signatures or encoded pulses. By activating those systems, Earth might have confirmed we are aware. We may have confirmed we are responding. A team at the SETI Institute did something unexpected. They converted the object's trajectory approach, times velocity and gravitational vectors, into binary. Then they applied deep space compression algorithms. The output was not random. It was structured, repeating. Hidden in the data were atomic numbers: carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron, the building blocks of life and machines. Scattered between them were prime number countdowns and recursive messaging patterns. The entire flight path of 3IATLAS might be a message written not in radio waves but in motion. If it hits Mars, that impact is one sentence. If it misses, that outcome is another. Either way, the message has already been delivered. As the impact corridor narrowed, scientists noticed something chilling. 3IATLAS's path crossed directly over Elysium Planitia, a region with bizarre symmetrical ridges and spiral-like formations that resemble Fibonacci patterns. The descent trajectory lined up precisely with a 3.5-kilometer circular basin containing unique crystalline silicates that pulse infrared light at regular intervals. What was previously dismissed as a geological oddity now looked disturbingly like a beacon, a rendezvous point. Then, as James Webb continued tracking the object, another anomaly emerged. A second shadow followed 3IATLAS at a constant distance of 0.07 astronomical units. Not debris, not gas, something darker, invisible to radar, unaffected by infrared, but it blocked starlight in perfect synchrony as if tethered. Something was following 3IATLAS, not escorting, not colliding, but mirroring. Some researchers began to wonder if 3IATLAS was not the main actor at all, but merely a carrier. The deeper scientists investigated the stranger it became. The object's alignments fell on ancient astronomical resonance. Dates September 23rd, October 5th, November 11th. These are the same dates marked in ancient calendars and tied to 54-year gravitational cycles. The last similar planetary configuration occurred during the Tunguska event in 1908. Coincidence seemed less and less believable. This was pattern, and patterns in space are signatures of design. Then came an even more unsettling discovery. A Princeton neurocosmology team found that the object's 17-minute pulsation frequency could synchronize human brainwaves even across separate rooms, with no awareness of the signal. This was not just mechanical resonance. It was cognitive entrainment, a message you do not simply see but feel. Meanwhile, archaeoastronomers found ancient depictions of a flame serpent, a celestial body bending near the sun and striking the red planet. The pattern appeared in Babylonian, Mayan, and Tibetan records. A pre-Incan stone from Tiwanaku even showed 4 rays from Mars that matched Webb's projected debris pattern. It looked as though someone had seen this event long before. 3IATLAS might not be passing through history. It might be repeating it. Then an unprecedented discovery, Mars itself began reacting. The ExoMars orbiter detected xenon isotopes rising from deep within the crust. Seismic activity spiked. Subsurface layers warmed. Then came a magnetic pulse, repeating every 17 minutes, the same timing as 3IATLAS. It was as if Mars was already responding, as if something underground had awakened. James Webb then detected a Fibonacci-like pulse sequence from 3IATLAS. 7 pulses pause, 3 pulses pause, 13 pulses. Not random. A spiral. Information. A countdown not to impact but to resonance. A synchronizing event. Soon after, a low-frequency harmonic emerged from beneath Olympus Mons. Independent orbiters recorded it. The waveform matched 3IATLAS exactly. For the first time, scientists asked, is Mars responding or communicating? Old Odyssey orbiter data revealed a forgotten heat signature that matched an ancient glyph, showing a descending spiral striking aligned planets. Mars might not only record geology, it might record celestial history, and 3IATLAS might be the key. Then came the impossible. Mars Express captured movement beneath dust fields near Noctis Labyrinthus. Patterns rose from the ground, 2 perfect concentric ovals. Over 4 hours, they formed an eye tilted at 23.5 degrees Earth's axial tilt. Mars had blinked, not metaphorically, physically. Something beneath the surface was aware of us. Webb's final analysis of the object's vapor trail revealed nucleobase-like sequences, RNA-like structures, designed for replication, with fragments resembling encryption keys and musical intervals. Life not as biology but as language, a living code. As 3IATLAS reached its final arc, Mars, Earth, and the Sun aligned precisely matching the angles built into Stonehenge, Nabta Playa, and Teotihuacan. Humanity had been building monuments pointing to this moment for thousands of years. 3IATLAS was not an accident. It was a keystone sliding into place. This event does not look like destruction. It looks like completion, a pattern, a convergence, a message. We thought we saw a comet, but what James Webb revealed was ritual. 3IATLAS performed, aligned, and responded. And every world it passed whispered back. Mars did not just react, it remembered. Now the object has taken its final position, not to destroy, but to complete something written into the fabric of the solar system. Mars may be the stage, but Earth, we are the audience. We were never meant to be spectators. We were always part of the design. Because in the end, 3IATLAS did not come for Mars. It came for our attention. And now that it has it, we must ask, what happens next?